Hello and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos, a D&D podcast set in the world of Fielor. Do we have any plugs before we jump in? Nope. All right. Just the usual of, if you want to support us, share and rate if it's possible on your podcatcher, the podcast. And if you want to go the extra step and support us financially by getting some merch or some access to some homebrew or DM notes, then you can find the Redbubble or the Patreon in the description below. So without any further ado, let's jump into another episode of Wyverns and Weirdos. So, where we last left off, the party faced down Dread Magister Aaron Corber in the theatre that Ross had built. And the theatre mostly was undamaged in the fight, other than a bit of splintering on the front door. The party neatly took out Corber and his mooks, but Sam, warning the party that there may be reinforcements on the way, suggested making their way to the Warding Wilds. So, we can act within initiative quickly while you're still in the theatre, while you're making that second decision on what to do. So, Caius.
Yes. So Caius is just going to take a quick look around, making sure there's nothing else that seems to be an immediate threat in our vicinity.
Nothing apparent in the immediate vicinity.
Okay. Cool. And then he's going to say, okay, how quickly can we get there? I can fly, I don't know. Does that thing have seats? Points at the metallic dragon.
So it doesn't...
Can we say it has a transport mode? It doesn't have seats, but it has it doesn't have seats, but it has sort of like very I want to say coarse places where you can sit and grab onto.
Okay. Yeah, so it can carry up to 9 people in just regular flight.
Neumann will say, look, it's not a comfy ride, but we can fit as many people as we need on this thing. Zoot is happy to oblige.
And you also have Teddy backstage.
Oh yeah, haven't forgot about him. Perfect. Well, if we need to get out of here quickly, then perhaps I'll take Theodore, scout ahead, and then the rest of you can follow with the dragon. Not too far behind, obviously. But before we go, 2 important things. I know we're pressed on time, but is anyone injured? Is everyone okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. How's everyone going? I can help. Yes. Bertie will rejoin Scurry over as well.
I took a few hits, but I'm fat and ready.
I have some extra stuff I can do, but it's more effective if we can get to safety somewhere.
Neumann will say, look, I'm feeling very good right now, so you don't need to worry about me, and I have plenty of potions and healing if anyone needs it, as he scurries over to the ashes and pace that is the dead Magister.
Yeah. And collecting your usual...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just going to wait for my turn on initiative.
So Ross, are you doing anything in particular?
There was a second thing that I wanted to do real quick.
Yes, Caius?
Just very quickly, I just wanted to ask, and before I go, what direction is it?
Can Neumann maybe assist in explaining where the safest place would be to enter, both stealthily and low activity with animals, creatures, monstrosities, etc.?
Yeah. Or Neumann with assistance from Ross, because Ross was briefed on this through the blocked memory.
You should be able to just go past that bunch of trees. If you're quick enough, it should be fairly stealthy, and there's usually low activity around there, but please don't enter before us. Ross, do you have any extra advice?
Well, one, how far away from us are the Warding Wilds?
Okay, so they're probably about 1,000 feet trip. So max speed on now what is the speed of
90 feet for
90
dragon.
90 feet for the dragon. I think it's 60 for...
It is 90 for the Pegasus.
Oh, it's 90 as well. Okay, so...
60 running, 90 flying.
Yeah. So, 1,000 divided by 180. So it's about 30 seconds of flight away.
Oh! Here I was thinking it was hours of travel, and Ross was going to be like, no, we're teleporting. Cool, so...
It is pretty fast.
Yeah. That is using the action to dash as well as the movement. So just move if you needed to use actions, it would basically, or if the mounts needed to use actions, it would take a minute. But if you're just bolting for it, it's half a minute.
Cool. Okay, then Ross is going to say, it's close enough that we don't need to teleport. If we fly, we stick close to each other, but there's not necessarily any need to leave at separate times. And then she's going to go to the back of the stage, and she's going to start ushering Teddy out. And she's going to be like, everyone decide who's going with who. We can help direct once we're up in the air.
Okay. Rook, are you doing anything in particular?
She's going to disappear her axe and then resummon it so that the blood kind of just splatters off and that is cleaned. Then essentially, she's going to go to the others and be like, I think we better get moving, although we're going to have a conversation about how exactly they found us here. Ross, do you think that they had lookouts on the theater? Or is one of us... did one of us cause this somehow?
Well, there's every chance they had eyes on the theater. There's every chance they have a bug on one of us. And she does look at Neumann as he holds the little Dread Magister insignia. And she says, but that is a conversation we can have when we can lose them in the wilds. If they follow us, at least it's getting them away from Bapsa Shad.
Sam is going to interject with, more likely that they were keeping an eye out. And that they were anticipating something like this for Korba to be here. They're not exactly in the habit of spying on their higher-ups.
For a brief moment, if anyone is looking at Anya or paying attention to Anya, her eyebrows twitch down for a second, but then she schools a very neutral expression.
Okay. You do technically have an opportunity for theater actions, Ross, before we go on to Bertie's.
Oh, can I use it to regain all my inspiration?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Nice. That's so handy.
Bertie.
So Bertie kind of, he's been like looking over people and assessing them. So he kind of, looks to us from a moment that he does scurry over to where Caius has probably already started to run over to Teddy. And, he like, grabs him by the wrist, not like firmly, but like, momentarily. And he's like, hey, good job.
Thank you. You as well.
Yeah, no, it was good. It's pretty awesome.
You did the thing.
Yes, you did the thing.
I did. We did the thing.
We did the thing. Yes. Hang on. And Bertie like grabs his hand. He's like, I'm gonna heal you, okay?
Thank you.
And like a little pulse of cure wounds will go through his hand into Caius's hand. And that heals him for 32 points of damage. Cool.
All right.
Yeah. Good job. We gotta get to the wilds, and then we'll see where we go from there. We can maybe debrief about all this.
Yes, I definitely think leave now and debrief later, as he's sort of side-eyeing everyone having a chat about, is someone spying?
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, guys. Let's hurry on here.
All right.
Probably thematically, like his touches of worldly guys will blip out for Bertie as
So
well
you're
at
dropping
that point.
concentration.
You don't
Why is he
last for a
still
minute.
concentrating
It's still
Shield of Faith?
we're in initiative, so it's only been like
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
he'll hold it till then. He's used to that.
okay.
And as my free action, but you'll also like as a more quiet aside, be like, oh, so thank you for this.
It just happened. It's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, your AC is like 24 at the moment, is it, with the Shield of Faith?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. Neumann, so you're grabbing the badge and then
Yep. The dragon also regains its breath weapon. And if anyone is nearby the dragon, you'll hear a series of words this time. One really deep as the back of the dragon transforms to reveal what looks to be very uncomfortable seats, but also basically rods for people to hold on to. On top of that, whirring will happen similar to last time. However, this time it will end with a humming instead of a fizzling, and a faint glow can be seen inside of the dragon. Neumann, if he is allowed, would like to also investigate further in the remains of our friend here.
all right. Roll me an investigation check.
Sure. Terrible. 26.
26. All right. So yeah, his longsword is just a longsword. Like there's a basic magical enchantment to it, but nothing special.
No papers or business cards? Or...
No. He does have a coin purse on him with approximately 300 gold pieces.
Can someone please put that in our little D&D chat? Just because I'm not able to type just yet. And Neumann will then check if everyone's all right and gesture for people to get on the dragon as he mounts the dragon.
All right.
I guess the pilot seat.
Yeah.
Pilot, sorry. I forgot.
And-
It's the pilot.
Anya, if there's anything in particular you want to do.
Anya, she probably she just takes a moment, just the briefest of seconds, just to feel her magic a little bit, because she still has flame arrows active that last for an hour or until she uses 14 of the arrow, 12 of the arrows, sorry, which I've marked down the 2 she used.
Yeah.
By the way. And she feels the connections moderately strong enough, so she just sort of nods to herself, and whoever's closest to her, possibly, I'm guessing Neumann or Rook. I'd say maybe Neumann, just based off where everyone was. She's like, Neumann, when you're done, can you help me onto your zoot suit? Whatever zoot suit is now. Yes.
It's still a zoot suit. Not only does Neumann hop off and assist Anya, but Zoot will also tilt to the side to assist.
Aww.
All right.
Very cute.
All right. So I'm gonna say so the next. So who's on Zoot Suit? Who's on Theodore? Is there gonna be a second person with Caius on Theodore, or?
I mean, I'd assume if it was anyone, it'd be Bertie, since Theodore knows and trusts Bertie, and I don't know how Pegasi feel about being ridden by people. I don't know.
It depends on what Caius wants to do. If Caius suggests that people do that, otherwise he will scurry back to Big Dragon Boy Zoot.
Caius suggested that it was Caius and Theodore in front.
Yeah, so that's fine. So yeah, Bertie scurries back to Dragon.
Alright, so the rest of us are on Zoot. Ross had helped everyone else up onto Zoot before getting on herself.
Okay.
And while everyone is getting on, Caius is still under the guise of Fredwood, trotted out to the street without taking off or anything, and is actively looking out for any sense of trouble.
Okay.
Or if anyone is interested in, sounds of combat.
All right.
Or if it's
roll me a perception check.
Oh, Caius is good at these. That is a 10.
10. There's nothing nearby.
If the dragon is outside, can I get in on that perception check too?
Yeah, once the dragon gets outside, roll me a perception check.
Isn't the dragon never came inside?
Yeah, the dragon is still at the front door.
Okay, sorry.
Lying low. It never went above building height.
Okay.
That's a dirty 20.
All right. You can hear in the distance the sound of armored figures moving in this direction.
We need to go now. And if we can't be stealthy, then at least let them know we're leaving.
Bertie holds on tighter to whatever part of the dragon he's been assigned to.
Now, if everyone could just buckle up, please. As he gestures to everyone's waists.
Are there seatbelts?
Yes, there is.
Right.
Okay.
My God,
Like I said, this ride's uncomfortable, but it's not unsafe.
Would it be like a traditional seatbelt, or would it be like
It would just be a waist.
aerial courses where they've got the cinch for maneuverability?
Sure, yeah. We don't want to restrict anyone's movement. We'll go with that then. Now,
straps herself in dutifully.
Neumann will also be casting guidance on the dragon.
Okay.
Just to assist with any checks that it may need to make.
Yep.
As it, I believe, follows Caius.
Yeah.
And Theodore.
So, Caius, are you starting to fly up and towards the wilds?
Yes, Caius is going to get out onto a main street, start to trot, get into a full counter, and then lift off.
Okay.
Probably still in the full disguise of just a normal horse.
You feel the beating of wings either side of you, but they are nowhere to be seen. This is just a apparently free-flying horse.
Visual. Any video game clip.
That happens to be wearing a hat.
And as for the dragon, it will get a running start and use its tail to propel itself off the ground and use that momentum to continue on forwards.
All right. So the 7 of you see as most of the foot soldiers stand stopping their tracks on the ground, and some of them with crossbows try to shoot at you ineffectively, because there's not a great range on these crossbows compared to how high up you are, and they're not particularly great aim either. And you fly towards the wilds. These you see ascending into the sky from a distance, these shadowy, skeletal, winged beasts with other guards atop them. These ones with magic crackling from one hand as they hold the reins of these beasts in the other. And they are chasing you. What do you want to do?
Scream.
Anya's gonna notch an arrow.
Yeah.
And start firing. Full stop.
Yeah.
Like that end of that statement.
Yeah. So basically, no. So every 3 seconds, basically, you loose another arrow, sending another guard flying off their beast. What is everyone else doing?
If any of them get within range, Neumann will pop them with a magic missile.
All right, from the wand.
Yep. Not too many, just one to sort of tell them to stay away.
Yeah. Caius, what are you doing as some kind of try to edge in on you?
Well, Caius is ahead of the dragon at this point. He's going to slow down a little bit and sort of pull up alongside the dragon, and just sort of almost slowly and practiced grabs a large, incredibly large lance and sort of knocks it into his shoulder, and brings his shield a little bit more in front of his body. And is softly whispering to Theodore. And at this point, he is not actively doing anything, but if any of them get close, he is going to turn around.
All right. Bertie, what are you doing?
Oh, well, since Neumann did magic missile, I guess Bertie is too. You know, magic missile.
So Bertie, I mean, this is an important distinction now because you have an item that actually allows you to do magic missile.
It's Eldritch Blast.
All right. So yeah, you are.
He kind of like tries to awkwardly maneuver himself a bit so that he can keep more of a watch on what's trying to pursue us.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
basically,
you just use Eldritch Blast.
He's
trying to keep an eye across other characters.
Like
as well.
at basically twice the rate that Anya is blasting out arrows, you are blasting out these Eldritch Blasts of arcane force. Rook, what are you doing?
Rook is like, if it's possible, maneuvered herself so she's like sitting back to back with Anya so they can stabilize each other. And she is also blasting out Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah, so these blasts of flame coming from Rook as Anya is behind her back to back, blasting out arrows.
And also, every time an Eldritch Blast hits, the rider, it pulls them forwards towards Rook and then drops them down.
And throwing them off their beast. And because they've got their hands on their rein, kind of turning the beasts kind of heel like into this weird spin and causing them to crash into the buildings. Ross, are you doing anything in particular?
Yeah, so what are these big beasts near each other?
Some are, some aren't.
Are any of my friends, I was listening, I just like want to confirm. How close is Caius?
Caius
to them?
This hasn't engaged yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
He's
they are
next to you guys, about 20 feet off to the right.
They are closing in on him.
She is going to reach into her little component pouch and she's going to pull out an accursed little object. She's going to pull out her Wand of Wonder.
Oh, yes.
And she's going to say, because she's basically tapped on her super damage dealing spells.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, please, for all that is good and holy, don't fuck me. And she's going to throw a spell at the creatures. I would like to cast whatever this fucking wand's version of fireball is.
Yes! This is the useful one. So this, out of the tip of this wand, a bull-shaped fire elemental flies out and charges at these beasts.
Oh, it didn't fuck me. I owe Spoons a fruit basket.
All right.
Fireball, oh my god.
Caius, most of these beasts are taken out by the fireball and all the arrows and eldritch blasts and magic missiles, but there's one charging straight for you. And you see the magic starting to crackle even more fiercely from the mage's hand atop it.
Mm-hmm. Do I have a chance to do anything?
Yeah, you have one chance. You have one chance before it lets off this spell.
How close is it?
Probably about 50 feet and closing.
Do I think I have enough time to pull a swift 180 and charge at it?
Yes.
Okay. He would like to do that.
Okay.
I would like to attempt to joust this wizard.
All right. A roll to hit as you come into contact. Because of the nature of jousting, I am going to say that the spell goes off at the same time.
Okay.
So they are going to... Yep, that is going to hit. And they are going to be... This is just a blast of arcane force.
Cool.
But
Can it be counterspelled?
you are too far away, unfortunately.
It's fine. It's fine. What's the worst it can do? Oh. 28.
28. Okay. So, this blast does 25 points of force damage to you as you hit the rider with your lance and knock it off its creature onto the ground below. And again, the rider pulls at the neck of the creature so that it kind of tumbles to the side as well.
Excellent. How high are we off the ground?
You probably about 100 feet.
Okay. And does that force push me off the Pegasus?
No. Actually, roll me an athletics check. I believe it is.
Oh, that's all right. 18.
18. That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
Cool. I sort of rock back in the shoulder, in the saddle.
All right.
And as I turn around, I just give a ring on one of my fingers, a little bit of a kiss. Keep going.
All right. And yeah, so you've managed to either disable or outrun all of these creatures at this point, and you see the mouth of the Warding Wild before you and disappear from their sight into the foliage.
That was really freaking cool, guys. That was really freaking cool. That was a lot of fun. Thank you.
It was extremely cool. Good job.
It was extremely awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So
That fireball, though. My god.
yes.
Just this once. Thank you, Spoons. This
Thank
once.
you, Jesse. And if you want the opportunity to orchestrate something as cool as this in our game, support us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Well, now I also know that the other 4 spells I have left are fucked. They're not useful.
Ross. Fuck. Ross doesn't know that.
No.
I mean,
Now she has positive feelings about the fucking one.
Surely we can piece it together.
I mean, they have uses. They have uses.
If you were very hungry, the peas would have been useful.
Okay. So, you probably fly for a bit further to try to find a decent clearing to land and kind of regroup in the wilds. And can I get someone, it doesn't matter who, to roll me a d6?
I can.
At our earliest convenience, Neumann will set up that portable shelter also.
All right. Great.
It's a 3.
Okay, so yeah, the area you find is this dense forest, but enough of a clearing to work with. For a camp or whatever you want to do. What was it Neumann was doing again? Sorry.
He was given an item. I
Tiny
can't.
hut. He wants to cast tiny hut, I
That's
believe.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, but before he does that, I just want to confirm that this was a reusable item, I believe.
Yes.
Sorry, you went quiet there, Darby.
Yeah, it's once per day.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. What time is it right now? 'Cause we got there quite late, didn't we?
Yeah, so it's getting, to your best judgment, it's getting pretty close to sunset.
So Neumann will say to the others, are we okay to make up camp here, everyone? Or should we go further? I think it's time.
Rook travelled through here to get to New Arcadia, so I assume she would know a fair bit about it. Should I roll like a check or
Roll me a survival check.
Okay. Can I have it at advantage? That was a 2.
No, unfortunately. Unless you have a feature that would give you advantage on survival.
No.
Well, can we go flash of genius then?
Yeah, that is doable.
And a guidance if not too late, but by the sound of it.
Probably too late once the check is rolled. But so how much is flash of genius?
7.
7.
So total of 9, I
Question:
believe.
what specifically is this check for? I was rolling.
This is what Rook knows about the Warding Wilds from her
It's just
travels
been there
through there.
before.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So that gets you to a 9. Yeah. There's not much you know about it other than it is a strange place. Where
I mean, I guess since Rook's been here before, it's probably just she doesn't know this area at all.
Yeah.
She doesn't
Yeah,
pass
that's
through.
true.
you do know that like it is expansive and that there are like so expansive and so chaotic that there are rumored to be, and you know this from experience actually, that there are several different types of environment contained within the wilds.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know too much about this like forested area. It's a place that we need to be cautious on, but I assume we should be safe. You want to make camp or keep going?
Darby, is there any chance Anya can like scout the area, like the immediate area for dangers or for...
roll me a survival check.
That's a a 27, which is the lowest that she can roll.
Yeah.
Which isn't great for her, but is good.
Yeah. There are hints of various creatures' tracks, but they are not particularly fresh.
Anya sort of feeling around the area and listening for the sounds and everything. She sort of turns and she's like, no creatures have come through recently, so we should be fine for the night.
Okay. So Neumann will activate Tiny Hut.
Okay.
So basically, this semi-transparent dome springs through, looking like it will like push us away, but instead we phase through it. And it grows to a 10-foot radius sphere, allowing us quite a bit of space to set up anything we need. And then Neumann explains that this should keep us safe. We are allowed through this, but anything else shouldn't be allowed. But I will just add, be careful casting spells through this, as it might fail. This is to protect us, more so than to give us an advantage, just for protection overnight.
That's really cool, Neumann. Where'd you get that from? I've never seen anyone else cast this spell before.
This one here was
practice.
actually given to us.
Oh, cool.
For our adventures down here. It's one of the things I asked for specifically, so I thought it would come in handy, because I know how dangerous this place can be.
Interesting. It is a little bit snug, but I'm sure it'll do the trick.
Yeah,
He kind of like looks contemplative over it, and he kind of like just like catches Caius's eye and just like makes a face.
Caius will just sort of bow his head.
Yeah, and then continues looking around.
You are more than welcome to sleep outside of it, but I might not recommend it.
No, it looks really cool. No, that's fine. That's very clever of you to plan for this. Yeah.
All right, so Neumann will assist in setting up the camp, and if he can, is there a very like thick tree around?
Yes.
Okay, so Neumann is going to go into his backpack, and he's going to bring out another rod with a hole made up of a series of cogs. He'll place it at the base of the tree, and then take a couple of steps back as the rod starts to unfold.
Okay, so you're leaving the dome to get to this tree?
Sure, why not?
The dome disappears.
Oh, serious?
If the person casting the spell leaves.
Right, I forgot about that. I read. Well, plan B, everyone, as he turns around to you quite embarrassedly, as a door unfolds behind him. You see a tree on the other side, but then the tree disappears as a space begins to manifest itself behind him, revealing quite a large area with smithing tools, furnaces, and all sorts of stuff. This is Neumann's portable workshop.
Yes.
So perhaps we might need to use this temporarily.
It is probably, it's a bit bigger than the dome, and there aren't really, I don't think there are really the sleeping amenities.
No. But
it will fit everyone.
Yeah. And whilst it might be uncomfortable, my mistake, I can't actually use that spell again for another day.
That's okay.
Whoops. Sleep wherever you want now, guys.
I'm going to, this is great. Thank you. I'm going to take watch outside. As much as we are safe in there, I don't think it would be a good idea for us to wake up surrounded. would anyone like to take second watch so I can get dressed?
Yeah, sure. I'll take second watch. That's a good idea.
I can take a third watch if we need some.
I'm happy to do it. I don't need much sleep anyway, depending on how much rest we need. So it'll be good.
It in that case, it might be a good idea if it was Bertie and I, because we need less sleep than the rest of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're comfortable with that, Bertie. Good. I will be outside.
Neumann leads his dragon or Zoot Suit into his portal workshop as he does some quick adjustments, repairs, and etc. And then to anyone watching, he then shrinks the dragon, and Zoot Suit unmounts from it.
Up until the moment Neumann started leading it towards the door, Ross has not gotten off Zoot Zoot. She was in fact sitting there very quietly trying to make sure no one heard her, sitting there going, fuck, I forgot I hate heights. I forgot how much I hate heights. I forgot how much I fucking hate heights. And then, but as soon as Neumann comes over, she just dismounts off Zoot Zoot all graceful and cool. And she's like, wonderful. Is the library in there still set up from last time? I'm pretty sure I left a bookmark in there with like that little stack Zoot Suit left me last time. And you're not getting out of explaining this, by the way.
Look, bad news about that bookmark.
What?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Darby, but anything inside of the workshop, I don't believe persists. Is that the rule we came up with?
It depends. So if it comes from outside the workshop, it will persist while it's in the workshop.
Yes.
But if the material was made from the workshop, it will not persist when taken out. But
Yes.
if it has been taken into the workshop from outside, then it will persist when brought out.
Bad news about that bookmark. Sort of did a cleaning job the other day, and I think I put a bookmark somewhere. I just can't remember where it is.
Why
Sorry.
did you take a bookmark out of a book?
It fell out when I was moving the book.
What? Neumann, that was a really good book.
It's here somewhere. It's maybe I'll have a look for it tonight. Okay, I'll see if I can find it.
My page. I was up to like a really good bit about like Stacy and Kyle.
Neumann raises an eyebrow. He goes, you mean the first one with Stacy and Kyle? I think I've read that book too. I could just tell you what happens.
No! No, that's not. That ruins the suspense, Neumann.
All right. Look,
and I
I'll
have like
tell
a
you.
really specific image of like what their voices sound.
I'll tell you what. Neumann asks Zoot to go rummage around all of the books to see if he can find this bookmark and the book. As he continues to shrink the dragon and then assist with other jobs around the camp.
Okay.
We'll hopefully find it. Don't you worry. And as for the dragon, we can talk about that as well. I sort of wanted it to be a grand reveal, but I sort of had to unveil it pretty much as soon as it was done. So, yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I know. It just
You made a
Zoot
dragon
Suit
appear.
felt like he could help a bit more, and I thought I'd help him to help others. So
Really saved us there from having to deal with all those guards.
yeah, it's also a really good intimidation factor. I'm surprised that they didn't run away, but then again, we didn't really give them a chance, did we? As soon as they saw the dragon, they were basically incinerated. But That's a few less wizards to worry about. Wizards of the Ruin.
Yes.
And one less magister.
Yes. Just 4 left.
Well,
Hopefully we don't have to deal with them all at once. Do we have a game plan? Were you told anything in those secrets? Ross, I know you haven't shared them too much, but if you had anything on this place or what we should do, maybe now might be a good time to talk about it.
yeah, of course. Before Anya takes up watch, let's have a chat. And Ross is just gonna plonk herself down on the ground, like outside of the workshop. Please give me a moment to find my notes while everyone else says what they're doing.
Anya just has already sort of perched herself. I'm gonna say she's probably, if feasible, like clambered a little bit up this thick tree onto like one of the lower branches, just so she's out of sight, and it's just sort of set herself in a way that's very reminiscent of when she used to adventure and had to take watches. So she's found a sort of comfortable nook for herself, but she, with her crazy perception, can hear everything comfortably. And if she wants to pipe in, she'll just use the little dingly dangly earrings.
Do we have a little bit of time before the sun goes down, or is it like actively going down now?
It is actively going down, but you've still got a bit of time before it sets.
Okay. Okay. Caius will just sort of keep looking up at the sky, but stay put.
I think Rook's probably been like setting up tents and such, and I think she takes the hat of disguise off as well, and goes back to her normal form now that she doesn't need to be stealthy.
Okay.
And then she'll probably just settle down next to Anya and wait for Ross to talk.
Sam is probably going to do a 9th level prayer of healing. So is it 9th level? Is it 9th? He has... No, he doesn't have 9th level, so it's 7th level prayer of healing that he's got. So that is going to be... So that is 40 points of healing to... Yeah, it's again up to 6 creatures. So he's going to see that, he'll have noticed that Anya and Neumann have been completely healed of what little damage they took. So, so Bertie, you're back to full. If you weren't already. Rook, I think so 40 points of healing. So I believe that's enough to get Rook back to full, Ross back to full, and Caius back to full.
Caius is still a bit off.
A little bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need the number, he's at 206.
206, okay. Alright.
Neumann will also take this opportunity to go around, and he will give 43 gold to every party member, except for Sam, who gets 42 gold. And Neumann says, sorry, it's not as much as everyone else, but that's how this all gets split up, I guess.
It's fine.
Cool, and Neumann will just keep on assisting people with camp and such matters. He'll go up to Caius and say, do you need any additional healing, or are you good?
Oh no, I'm perfectly fine. Nothing a good rest won't fix.
All right, he's hoping we get one.
Well,
And yeah, cool. I'm done. I want to sleep.
Ross is going to look at Bertie, just see how he's doing.
He looks like he's looking kind of like he's like kind of varying between like anxious and relieved, and then like anxious again. It's like little fingers like steepled, doing the little tapping steepled thing again. But he's just looking over everyone. Yeah.
She is going to just subtly kind of indicate the spot next to her on the grass and like tilt her head towards it, then look at him and like raise an eyebrow as if to be like, do you want to sit with me?
He'll catch her eye and like his ears will flick a bit, and then he'll like kind of nod and like kind of clamber over, I suppose. Scurry over and plop himself down next to her. He doesn't talk. He just, yeah.
Cool. So, Ross is gonna kind of look around at everyone and be like, well, there's not really much to say. I was hoping we'd have a bit more time at the theater to organize some kind of plan through the wilds. But, from what was unlocked in my head, the wizards can't get through here, basically. It's insurmountable.
For a long time, it was insurmountable to them. Some of them managed to basically brute force their way through, which is why the occupation has been able to occur in recent years.
Okay. That is what Ross says. So she's like, it's been insurmountable for years. They've only recently been able to get through it, but even then, it's not easy to navigate. It's not easy for them specifically to navigate. There's weird stuff about this place. I don't know much about it. I mostly know where it is, and that, you know, all those fairy stories you're told as children, but to keep you scared and keep you behaving well. Don't steal cookies from the cookie jar or we'll send you to the Warding Wilds. Those kinds of things. Not that bad, but anything else I know, I do have access to getting Drakkar back on this plane, but he only wants to come back once we are at New Arcadia. We might be able to contact him for some kind of guidance, but that might require him revealing his location to the wizards. So...
probably best to wait on that one.
I think we might be, winging it, as we are wont to do. But we did a really good job back there. We killed another Magister, so Can I vibe check the forest?
Yeah. Roll me, I guess Arcana check is probably...
That is
I forgot to check something. Nope. Okay.
It's all good, Darby, don't worry about it.
Oh no, it's something that I did.
I rolled a 17, which for Ross makes that a 30.
Okay. Yeah, there is a weirdness to magic here. There's a strange magical vibe. And that reminds me, actually, Neumann, can I get you just to roll me a d20?
Absolutely.
For when you cast the dome.
Pew. 7.
Okay. So, yeah, the spell was fine.
And that's why you rolled for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get a weird feeling. Yeah. I think we can handle it. I think it'll be fine. But there's an energy here. Might be why the wizards found it so insurmountable for so long. It feels... magic. Can anyone else taste like iron on the back of your tongue? That charge in the air.
That might just be blood.
Darby, what would, with Anya's sort of magic sensitivity, is there anything in particular that she would feel off? Or is she starting to get a migraine?
It's not so much that. You've noticed when spells have been cast, there's been a slight, almost, the best way I can describe it is almost like a static or a distortion to them. They're still there, but there's some sort of warping to the spells themselves.
Yeah, this is somewhat familiar to her with her own magic, but she finds it odd that it's happening here.
Ross, you were warned about this as part of your briefing. This is an area of deep wild magic.
Oh, okay. Then, then what she's going to say is, "Well, Caius, I actually know what blood tastes like, and no, this is different. This is wild magic."
Bertie immediately looks to Caius with immense concern. His ears prick up. Not for, if you can explode with magic, but because,
Caius just looks mildly concerned at the moment, but he's not saying anything.
Okay, cool. So just gotta be careful around magic. That's fine. So just gotta be watchful.
Yeah, what does this mean for us?
I mean, I did feel a little bit strange when I was casting that dome spell earlier. I think that's why I sort of frazzled my brain a little bit. But my understanding of wild magic is that it can actually get quite bad.
Look, it depends. Look, my briefing wasn't... We had a limited amount of time. But wild magic, from what I understand, it's just a reshaping of certain aspects of magic. Songs can start to play, animals can appear, you can teleport, you can do all those kinds of things. It tends to be harmless.
Yeah, well, who knows? We probably shouldn't worry about it then. Just be watchful. Who knows what will happen? Just, yeah, that's it. We don't need to dwell on that. Yes.
Yes, only use magic where necessary.
Okay.
It'll be fine. And if we do have to use magic, then it will be necessary, and we can take whatever consequences we get, as we always do.
Neumann wants to sort of remember when he opened up his portable workshop, whether or not there was any similar feeling as to when he casted the dome.
There was not. So it seems that it would just be when spells are cast.
So I think it's specifically spells as well, because when I used my workshop there earlier, I don't believe there was any form of... I guess it's hard to describe, but I would sort of call it sort of like a distortion is what I felt, but it was very, very minor, and if anything, it sort of bounced off. So maybe perhaps if anyone has items that don't cast spells or anything like that, they might be immune to the effects.
Rook sat next to Anya, so she would have maybe pulled herself up into the tree because that's where Anya was.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Anya, she doesn't say anything, but she does, I think, without even really realizing it, she takes Rook's hand. And Rook can probably tell she probably appears a little bit more anxious than usual, but she doesn't say anything.
Rook will give her hand a squeeze. And I think before when Rook was talking, like asking questions about the wild magic, Anya wouldn't be able to see, but she was giving Anya like a little concerned look.
Like I said, we should be fine. Most of us don't use magic. Those of us who do, we can think of alternate means. And also, if we think positively that nothing bad will happen this evening, we can manifest that into the universe. I know it sounds stupid. Please let me have this.
Yeah, I'm sure things will be fine.
Anya did open her mouth to say something, and then when Ross continues, she closes it.
I will say, Anya, from your kind of sensitivity to magic, you would have noticed that the distortion was a lot more on the higher level casting that Sam did compared to the lower level casting that Neumann did. For simplicity's sake, the mechanical, the way that this works mechanically is whenever you cast a leveled spell, I need you to roll me a d20, and if you roll a number equal to or less than the spell slot consumed, a wild magic effect occurs. First, second level spells, you're going to be generally safe. 8th or 9th, you're getting to almost 50% chance of triggering something.
Anya sort of clears her throat a little bit and swallows, and her mouth and throat are a little bit drier, but she's like, I think it, Ravari, you know, it feels a little familiar to me. When we stopped training that day, it's similar. Different, but similar. I think I can... It feels like the more powerful the magic is, the more the chaos will affect it. So, be mindful, I guess.
That being said, does anyone not have a weapon that is magically enhanced or has a property of magic on it?
I feel like, given all we've been through, that, and I love you dearly, that was a very stupid question.
Just as long as we can keep spellcasting to a minimum, if there's any melee weapons that people have that aren't magically attuned, I might be able to help out there.
I do have a couple of crossbows that aren't magic, if people would like to do anything with that.
I've got a crossbow as well.
I also have a crossbow.
I mean, yeah, sure. I should be able to do a few of them. As Jake checks whether or not he can do more than one per long rest, he will get back to you all.
Yeah. I think I
like 10 crossbows.
I do have some
Up to 3.
I do have some low level magic that some cantrips that should hopefully be low level enough to not trigger anything.
I have a dagger or two. Look.
Darby, sorry, just on the suggestion of daggers, would the +3 dagger, that'd be magical, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're fighting anything that requires, that
He has a
resistance?
shit ton of non-magical daggers, but she has at least one. So.
Yes.
Cool.
Anyway, I think we can safely take rest for the evening. We are aware. Keep magic to a minimum. But we have a safe and dry place to sleep, even if it is not comfortable. We have many methods of leaving quickly. And she points at where I assume Teddy is just grazing happily amongst the shrubbery. And vaguely at the direction Zoot Zoot went before going back into a little totem form. And we have many people to keep us all safe, regardless.
Worst case scenario, if we do need to teleport out, then I guess we take the risk.
And as long as you have something that's been in New Arcadia in the last 6 months, we'll be fine. So, all good. And at the end there, I would like to insight check Caius, who has been acting very strangely. He's been a strange little boy.
This is either really bad or really good.
The natural 20.
Which totals?
I mean, it's Caius.
25.
Caius
That's
is
a
straight up
25.
not having a good time. He's... Well, he was not annoyed, but mildly miffed at, like, before we even got to the wilds. But at the mention of there being some form of wild magic in the forest, he just went back to when a few other scenarios before the year break that we took where Caius would just shut down.
Okay. Ross is going to expend a use of sending on the earrings.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
Oh, fuck, no! Can I retcon that?
So easy to do it. It is so easy.
Fine, roll
It was
it.
her first instinct. Just
Yeah.
roll with it.
Yeah.
Roll a d20. It's a 12.
12. Yeah, you're fine.
Fine.
Like, the
I'm going
odds
to-
are slim.
I'm going to use a charge of sending to talk to Bertie to say, Caius doesn't look too great. Do you want to talk to him or should I?
So after a moment, Bertie's still been quite tense. Bertie responds and goes, Caius used to have wild magic. I'll go talk to him if we get the chance. We should probably stop talking now and take action to rest or whatever.
Ross nods. Has a little like furrow to her brow, but she just nods. And then outwardly, she's going to clap her hands and be like, Neumann, is there any food in there?
I mean, look,
There
I'd like to
probably would
imagine
not
it
be.
would be snack food, not anything
Yeah.
nourishing or substantial. Fantasy potato crisps that secretly went missing from the group stockpiles in the share house and stuff like that.
Right.
You do have the rations provided
I know,
by
I was
the
just about to say.
Council of Education, but they're not
Right.
particularly flash.
Well, if someone wants to give me the rations, I can see what I can rustle up by way of a nice dinner.
Rovari, I can do a hunt. I just do not feel comfortable with going too far.
I mean, you could hunt, or potentially Bertie. You're very good with, foods and things like that. Would maybe, if you and Caius go in a pair, you could forage for a couple of berries or something, see what you can find? Nearby, of course.
I am a good hunter.
I know you are.
And neither of them are.
Ross wiggles her eyebrows and then realizes Anya can't fucking see, and is just kind of hoping.
You still have sending charges.
Don't.
Anya, she peters off for a second, and then she turns to Rook and she's like, is there something I'm not picking up?
I think maybe Ross is trying to get Bertie and Caius to spend some time together. Trying to orchestrate something, maybe?
We could spend time together here. Is food not...
A little moonlit stroll, maybe?
Fine, I will wait here, I guess, and relax.
Good. You deserve to relax, Anya. You've done yes. Ross is gonna reach up as high as she can and try and pat Anya's boot, comfortingly.
Anya, she looks a little bit miffed, not hugely, but she's just confused, frustrated, but accepting of it. She's like, yes, I guess. I'll be here. I'll keep an eye out for things.
Yes. Anyway, Bertie and Caius, whenever you two are ready, if you want to go looking for berries, no pressure if you don't find any. She winks at Bertie.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Caius, do you want to go and have a look?
Perhaps we shouldn't stray too far.
No, yeah, that's cool. And we'll get the message ring, so we'll message the group. It'll be good. Yes. Okay. Well, also, Bertie kind of rummages with his little handy haversack and pulls out a little the fantasy Ziploc bag that has the leftover tarts that people didn't eat. That he shoved into this. If anyone wants a dessert, I made some tarts. It was gonna be for afters. They were not as many as I thought I'd made, but if anyone wants some, you can have that. We'll see what we can find. Yeah, and he hands the bag to Ross and then very awkwardly scurries over to where Caius is.
Thank you. This is perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem. Enjoy. Caius? He touches his hand. Hey, come with?
Yes, let's go.
Let's go. Come on. And he'll hold his hand, and then
as they leave, Anya nudges Ross's shoulder with her boot to get a tart.
Ross hands her a tart and also whispers furiously I'm so sorry, they just have some things they need to talk about, and I was trying to orchestrate it so it felt natural and not weird that they went off on their own. I'm just trying to, sorry, Anya.
I'm not good with this, but that was not natural.
Well, look, I'm having a stressful day. But, now they're gonna go off and they're gonna talk and maybe they'll come back with berries. If not, at the very least, maybe Caius won't look like he wants to kind of implode a little bit upon himself. So, that's... I have a vested interest in Caius's continued existence, so...
Okay. But if dinner is awful...
Look, if you want, you can go hunting and it'll be fine.
You've made this situation. If I go hunting, then it makes me the asshole.
But
things
I was gonna say that maybe we could just pretend you like went off on your own because you didn't trust in their hunting abilities, but you're right, that would make you seem like an asshole. I apologize for that being my train of thought.
It's fine.
Maybe we can just
It's okay.
maybe we can just say that like anything you catch just wandered into camp.
It's fine. It's fine. We can. It's fine.
All right.
We have rations. It's
All
fine.
right. So, meanwhile, Bertie and Caius, you go wandering off for a little bit. Can I get one of you to roll me a d6?
I will let Caius do that, and I'm going to roll an insight check on Caius.
I got a 6.
All right. So the forest makes way into a kind of swampy area.
Okay, fun. I got a 21 on inside as well. So Bertie is kind of like trotting on in silence for a bit. He's still holding Caius's hand. So he's taking more of a cursory glance around himself, but he's more paying attention to Caius.
Guys, is straight up just looking for berries.
Valid. I'm assuming Caius is just still not looking like he's having a straight up good time.
No.
So-
He's very quiet. Focused but unfocused. Like he's trying to find some form of direction, but his mind is
Bertie's
not
seen that
in it.
before.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he is sort of just tapping the side of his sword, just sort of wrapping the fingers just on the side of the scabbard.
Excellent. All right, cool. So he's like, hey, so what sort of things can you notice?
Well, we're in a swamp,
Mhm.
so food might be difficult.
True.
But I'll be honest, I don't know why we're off foraging. Anya's much better at it than we are.
Yeah, well, she gets a bit funny with her magic still and stuff like that. So, she's probably having a bit of a rough time after the attack that just happened. Probably got to get her bearings. So it's good that we can step up to the task. But I gotta say, I'm pretty shaken by this whole situation. The magic problem I have. So it'll be interesting. But hey. What are you thinking about?
I don't know.
You can tell me, even if you think it sounds silly.
I really don't like this place. Should we go back?
Yeah, we can go back. It's all good. Are you thinking about before?
I'm just worried about what might happen. We all have a bit of an affinity with magic.
Yeah.
Well, I know what it can do.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We'll watch out for everyone. It'll be good. We'll look out for each other. We'll look out for everyone else. We'll make sure everyone's safe. Is that what you're worried about?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
You did a good job back there in the fight, and in the air. That must have been scary.
Did we do a good job? I think we failed.
Well, yeah, we kind of fucked up. We got caught immediately. That's probably... I don't know why. I think probably part of it was... I don't know. I gotta tell you right now, I know Rook and Sam even, and you raised the problem about getting disguises, and I was like, this should be fine. Ross and Neumann think it'll be okay, it'll be good. And that was clearly the wrong thing to do, so I gotta be more serious from now on. But, if we find out why that's been happening, and either way, Ross said we killed another Magister, so that's, quite possibly he had a lot of guards with him. So he's, I don't know, military tactic things, but that was a good thing.
Well, yes, I guess, but it also means that well, one, they were prepared for us, and two, they found us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were sort of the option. If we failed, then war comes to Kharasi, and
No,
we failed.
we didn't fail.
Well, they found
Things-
us.
I don't know. We're gonna find out who and why, and we're gonna solve it. We still got options. We're still out here. We flattened most of those people. It'll be good. And we'll sort it out. And we'll sort this magic stuff out too. I know we will. It'll be fine. Yeah, this feels real shit. It's kind of fucked up, actually. I gotta say, using that language, but like, I really don't like the idea of just having to improvise all the time. Doesn't feel great, especially after a long time planning, waiting to take action. But we'll sort it out. It'll be good. What do you think we should do?
I don't know. Maybe we should. We could go back to Durham, let them know what we found out. We could take our chances back in that town. I mean, they saw us leave. They wouldn't expect us to come back, so we could go back and we could lie low and we could keep feeding intel
Okay.
to everyone else.
Quick thought. I don't think that's a bad idea. But if we go back, they might start taking hostages. If we're out here, they'll probably come looking for us. We could lose them.
I'm just worried that we could lose ourselves as well in here.
Everybody's like, hey, and he kind of like grabs him by like sort of the shoulders. Hey, you're here? I'm here. They're just over there. We'll look out for each other. Do you have any other things you want to... What else is worrying you? It's bad.
I don't know. I'm just...
It's okay. This is a normal situation to feel bad in. I feel really bad too. You know what's helping me? Because you're here. You protected me in that fight. You protected me yesterday. And I protected you. I killed like 2 ogres. That was pretty amazing.
You did. That was, you did a very good job.
You helped Rook kill the big bad guy before he could do much damage. It was amazing.
Rook
really
did
good.
most of that. I just bopped him in the head a couple of times.
You knocked him to his feet. He looked amazed. Like that was really cool. You did a good job. You'll do a good job. We all will. But just remember, you know, that's what's stopping me from freaking out right now. Is because you're here. So I don't know what to say about that, or how that would help you personally. But that's just me speaking the truth now. And if people start to get lost, we'll help them. Ross can teleport. Might be dangerous here, but we can be careful. And Anya's good at tracking. You've got Teddy, and you know Neumann's got a dragon now. Apparently, that was kind of cool, wasn't it?
Yes. No. That was good. That was very a good piece of transport and helped us out in the fight.
Yeah. Hey.
I think we should prioritize using them as means of transport should we need, rather than any form of teleportation.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's a really good idea.
Right. What?
Hey.
Okay.
Well, one moment. Okay. Hey,
And Bertie tries to find a less soggy area. Like, hey, can you sit down for a tick?
Yep. And Caius is just gonna sort of fall back.
Alright. And Bertie plops down cross-legged in front of him. He's like, okay, can you show me your arms? You're still a bit burned up, hey?
A little bit. But
Okay.
I'm fine.
No. Does it hurt?
No, it's nothing.
Bias.
I'm fine. I've got a couple of scratches, but I might get a nice bruise in the morning, but it's...
Bertie kind of rummages around his backpack while Caius is doing this. He's like, don't worry, I'm not going to use a spell. And he gets out some little jar of a salve or something like that. He's like, okay, we'll put this on. It'll stop the burning. Yeah?
Okay.
I gotta tell you, we're not too bad when we do our cooking, but when I do that, sometimes I lose focus sometimes. I burn myself, so this will help. Okay? Yeah?
Okay. Yep.
And got a little bandage, put that in his mouth and then kind of wrap it around carefully. And he'd be like, okay, see? So I got solutions. Don't require magic. Now I would be confident enough to use magic on you now, but I don't want to do that because you're worried about it, so I won't.
Thank you.
Okay. This will help. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Just worried?
I think we should get back to the group.
Okay. All right. It'll be good. Don't worry about the berries. It'll be fine. I brought snacks, so it'll be okay.
Okay.
Okay? And Bertie springs up. He's like, hey, take my hand?
And Caius will do so.
Awesome.
This-
And Bertie is gonna cast guidance on Caius, which is a cantrip, so it will be fun.
Yes.
Just some positive energy.
Yeah.
As soon as that happens, Caius is going to flinch and attempt to pull his hand away.
Oh, yeah. And Bertie kind of steps back. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
That's fine. We should probably be careful.
Yeah, no, sorry. I won't do that again.
Let's go. And Caius is going to start walking back to the group.
Excellent. And Bertie kind of does the little finger hands thing at his sides and then just kind of trudges after him. Excellent.
And as the two of you return to the group, that is where we're going to leave it for this week. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next week.
See you next time.
Bye.
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 So, practical use for the stinger. I meant to say this, but forgot to, so I'm going to put it into the stinger. I think that's a good point to level up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Ooh.
I forgot we can do that as characters.
Yeah.
Right?
we're so high. I was like, oh damn. I forgot about that.
between how you dealt with, you've dealt with the ball and you dealt with that. You've killed 3 Dread Magisters in
Yes.
2-3 days.